Hi there, Karen here, and I'm back with a mixed media layout today. So I'm just squirting some water on this basil marshmallow paper, and I've got this little tube of dust. It's called Pixie Powders by Cosmic Shimmer. Of course, we all call them pixie dust. And you just squirt it on the water and add a bit more water, and it just spreads everywhere. And it's got mica powders in it, and it makes a really cool effect. I managed to overdo it somewhat and put a bit too much powder on the paper, so it went a bit out of control, and I ended up with it all over the place. And I just kept spreading it, using the brush to start with, and swirling it around and trying to make it look into something resembling a decent background. And I did the best I could with it. And at one time, I actually nearly gave up on it, but I keep going. I keep going with the paintbrush, and then I think I'm going to grab a piece of packaging, and I'm just going to splotch it around and try and spread it around to make it into a background, because the picture I'm using, which you'll see in a moment, is my daughter in the swimming pool. So it does have end up with a bit of a pool kind of watery effect, which works quite well. It's got a lot of swirly patterns on it, and I think it works quite well there you go, there's the pool picture. And I had the idea, once I'd got this far, that I would then do a load of circles with the papers that I've got. It's from a kit that I bought a couple of years ago from a British company, and it's based around the two collections from Elle Studio, which is the Sunny Days collection, and from Cocoa Vanilla, the Hello Sunshine collection. So these are the papers I'm using, and I'm just backing my photograph because up against the background it almost disappears. The water is a very similar colour, so I thought it needed a bit of backing. So I've got this lovely dark blue paper to back it to start with for the first layer. And as you can see on the left there, I've already punched out a load of circles, which I haven't really got any plan for how I'm going to use them. I just thought circles seemed a good idea to use with a picture about water and the swimming pool. So I'm just making it up as I go along, really. I haven't got a particular plan. I just wanted to use the circles in some way. So I'm carrying on just backing this photograph, giving a few layers. And there we are, it's ready to go. And now I'm trying to decide whether to back the whole thing with this other piece of paper that I've got, but I didn't think it really worked very well. So now I'm just having a go with these circles, just laying them out. Don't really know what to do with them. Just putting them around the photograph, trying to get some idea of how I want this to go. Decided I need a few more circles. I think really at this stage, I was doing this layout when I was off work, and I wasn't really feeling very well, and my heart wasn't really in it, to be honest. I hadn't really got my mojo going, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just punching shapes just for the sake of trying to do something positive. So I kept going with the punching of the circles. And this is a really summery kit. It's got all sorts. You can see it's got really summery colours, so it seemed really appropriate papers to use for this layout. This is for a photograph of my younger daughter when we were on holiday in Spain last year in September, and we had a villa, and we had an afternoon spent around the pool. And at this point, I got this gorgeous floral paper from the Hello Sunshine collection. It's called Full Bloom, and I decided to fussy cut some flowers, because I thought, as well as the circles, I was going to need some flowers as well to dot around the photograph. It just seemed it would make it a bit prettier to have some flowers as well as the circles. So I'm just going to fussy cut a load of these flowers out from this paper. There we go, and that's what I've done. Now this is some weeks later. I started this layout weeks ago, and then I just lost my mojo and I didn't know what to do with it. So I came back to it. It was all a bit warped, and I didn't know whether to cut it up a bit more. But in the end, I decided to add some Heidi Shine, some gold Heidi Shine, to give it a bit more sparkle. I thought that might help to give the background a bit of a lift. So you can see there's just dotted about, and I've picked this dark blue cardstock to back the the whole layout, because the paper had got so warped by this time. I mean, it'd been sitting around for about 3 weeks, and I just didn't really know what to do with it. And I thought, well, the only way, I've either got to chop it up, make more big circles with it, or I've got to flatten it somehow and stick it to some cardstock. So I thought I'd stick with what I'd done. I'd stick with the background that I'd made in the end, after lots of thinking, what shall I do with it? And I picked out this colour because I thought it went quite well, and backed it onto there, and it looks a lot better because it's flattened it down. It's given it a bit more substance, and I was a lot happy with it at this point. And then I picked out this doily that I'd cut on the silhouette, and I thought, well, that looks quite pretty. And then back to the circles. Oh no, I'm going to do a bit more backing on this. I decided the photo needed a bit more colour around it. It was still fading too much into the background, so I thought it needed a bit more colour to brighten it up and make it lift a bit more away from the backing paper and give it that sunny feel. It was such a beautiful sunny day. It needed a bit more sunshine on the layout, not just all about the water. It was all about the glorious day. So I picked out some of the more orangey and yellowy coloured papers that were in the kit. And this is one last piece, which is a white paper with a blue floral. I'm just going to back it with the end. There we are. I thought the white would then really give it a good border against the green background. And I'm going to use the ruler just to give it a slightly softer edge at the side and underneath. I'm cutting it down first, but then I decided I will actually tear that edge a little bit as well. Yeah, I'm just going to tear that. It doesn't tear it straight, but that doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. There we are. This layout does take a few twists and turns, as I took so long to create it. I mean, it's ended up quite different to the way I imagined in the first place. Not that I really had any particular idea of what I was going to do. I do get to use the circles though, just in a slightly different way to the way I'd vaguely envisaged at the beginning. And I'm quite pleased how it turns out in the end, but it just takes me a while to find my mojo. I'd actually gone away and had the baby shower and then done all my baby shower layouts and all that before I found the will to come back and face this one again. Once I got started, I started to like it, and I was happy with the background. So I thought I'd try some more of those flowers. So I had fussy cut a load of flowers from that beautiful floral paper, and I'd put them all in a little bag with the circles, and I'm just trying them out around the photograph with that really pretty doily. I'm just playing around with it now, seeing how it looks, laying it on all around the side of the photograph just to try and give it a bit of a background. Didn't like that, took it all off, started again, and just had another idea that I would put the flowers on the circles. So I laid them all out on the layout and popped a coordinating flower. One was more of a contrasting colour really than on one of the circles that I'd cut. So there were big flowers and small flowers, and I managed to find enough flowers to go on all of my circles, more or less. Some I had to take out of the ephemera pack, and some I cut out of the paper. So here we are. I've stuck them all on now. I think I may have missed one or two, but I'm nearly there. Now I've decided to lie them in a line up and down the side of the layout. So this is somewhat different to what how I started, but I thought, well, I'll try that out. I thought this might work quite well. And I quite like this in the end. This is what I went with. Line them down, and then just have the photograph overlapping at the side there. I decided I quite liked that, but it was then not showing enough against all the flowers. It was so busy on the left there that I've taken a dark blue little Versa ink, and I'm just edging it with the dark blue, just to kind of separate it from all the busyness along the left there and from the background. It just shows the edge of the layers a bit better. and then I'm going to back it with some foam, as I do in many cases, because then it just needs to be lifted up a little bit away from those flowers, or the floral circles, should I say. And I'm going to try and stick those all down in the where I've put them. And some of them are going to be stuck flat, and just here and there I'm going to put one or two onto a bit of a foam background, so it gives it a little bit of dimension. You see, a few of them are just standing a little bit proud of the others. So there's the last little one with a little bit of foam on, just to make some of them a little bit raised. Gives it a bit more interest and a bit more dimension. This is beginning to get there with this one. I'm getting a lot happier with the way it looks. I think the background looks quite good. It looks like water to my eye, and I quite like how that's turning out. So I'm just going to stick the photo down. I'm now ready to commit that to the paper. Well, at least almost. I'm just going to see where I can put where it'll fit. There we go. Now I'm going to stick it in. So I'm tucking it in under one or two of the more raised circles. And then I've got a few in the kit. There were all sorts of little bits of embellishment, and there was some little wooden ones here, which were by Elle Studio, and that one says "so much fun," I believe. And then the other one has just got a little image of a sun. So as they're both circular, I thought they fitted in rather well with the rest of the circles. So next I'm looking at the sticker sheet, which is the Cocoa Vanilla Hello Sunshine sticker sheet, and trying to find some more circular elements. And that's just a little more of a label, really. And I had intended to put the date on there, but in the end I decided, as it was going to be part of a holiday, sort of lots of layouts together about this holiday, the dates will be fairly irrelevant because they'll all take place within 1 week. And just finding a few more little stickers to tuck around the photo. That top one just says "Love this." And there's another one there where there's spelling out the word "fun." And you can see from her face she's having the best time. So she's always been a water baby. She's always loved swimming pools and loved going swimming. So she's having a great day. So that one says "best day." And I found another little one, which I'm going to tuck in up the top there. And that says "Hi there." I think I love this picture of my daughter. She looks so happy, so smiley. And that's very much her. And I've just got a few little enamel dots that came with the kit, also from the same collection. And I'm just going to tuck a few around the circles on that strip at the side there. Just all the different colours that are in the kit. The yellow and the minty green and the orange. All the colours. They're all so summery and gorgeous. And I had originally had another idea for the title for this layout, but then I found this acrylic phrase. It's from the Elle Studio. It's an acrylic phrase, as "You are my sunshine," and I thought, well, actually, she has always been I've always called her my little rare sunshine. So I thought that would be an appropriate title to put there. It's not an easy phrase that you can use on any old layout, so I thought this would work really well. And I just found that there was a bit of a gap there, so I filled that in, saying "favourite part of summer." And I thought that just filled in that little gap there. And I put a little flower in that empty sticker, just to fill in that space, rather than the date, which I'd originally planned. I didn't think the date was all that important for this layout. And I'm just sticking on the title. That works quite well just there. So after many twists and turns, this layout, I've finally got there with it. I'm really pleased with it. I think it works quite well. And I'm going to have another go with those Pixie Powders and see if I can do a better job of it. Thank you for joining me again. Do come and watch my videos again soon. Goodbye.